Greetings, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Pilot Review Show. I am Captain Blade, J52, and I am joined this week by my merry band of misfit cohorts. Dancing about half drunk on the table there, we have everyone's Teacher of the Kirby variety.
Well, you know, that margarita still hasn't worn off from Vegas. No, I'm kidding. But I have survived Vegas and I'm back at home safe. Hello, everybody.
And we have our resident RP hologram with us this evening, Artie.
Hello.
So, the good thing is Kirby and everybody survived Vegas. Got some fun stuff on the channel for you guys to check out and whatnot, and
Yes.
everything. So I'm assuming the Vegas trip was good for you.
Yes, it was. It was a 3-day drive out, 3-day drive back, and it was non-stop the entire time we were there. Just going and going and going. We've got the Klingon Rickroll video on teachers on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/TeacherKirby. We've got interviews and panels that have been put up on the Pilot Review YouTube.
Sweet.
So yeah, definitely lots of fun, and you can see everything that we've been up to.
But, yeah. So, anyways, speaking of our first article this evening, we actually have the Age of Discovery.
Yes. So there's the Age of Discovery. There was the Age of Discovery panel that was Sunday in Vegas at 10:30 a.m., which we do have the video recording of that panel on our YouTube channel. And so definitely check that out if you want more info. We also have a follow-up interview with Al Gecko Rivera up on the channel that took place after that panel. So we do discuss some things that happened in the panel and that were mentioned in the Age of Discovery blog that was released 2 weeks ago. But definitely lots of things to check out, and if you are interested in what went down, you can check out the link that Cryptic provides to the audio of the Age of Discovery panel, or you can check out our YouTube where we have the Age of Discovery panel, Victory's Life panel, and the STLV team panel, as well as a number of other interviews and things that went on at the convention.
Sweet.
Anything to add?
No, I think that hits all the points.
Pretty much covered.
Yeah, pretty much
Yeah.
covers
It was a lot of fun. And yeah, check them out.
Be interesting to see what they come up with for the game. But, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely will be.
And moving right along for our PC patch notes on the 9th. There's really only 2 notes here, not really a lot. So basically they resolved an issue with the Gamma Battle Zone not starting if a previous attempt to start one was declined by a player, and they added 4 more names to the memorial plaque. Harlan Ellison, Roger Perry, Doug Grinstuff, and Dan Urich. Is that how you say that guy's name? Urich?
Yeah, Dan Urich. And Dan Urich, actually, little interesting side note, the Saturday Night Gala at the convention was actually delayed by about half an hour, 45 minutes, because the tuba player collapsed. And they literally, it was quite an exciting thing when you hear them shout, "Make way!" and see security and the stretcher come by, and there was literally an EMT on the stretcher pumping on the guy's chest. Dan Orridge was that tuba player, and he never regained consciousness. He did die from that. So kind of just a interesting little side note as to who that is and why they're on there. So yeah.
But kind of a eventful thing, I guess.
Yes.
But,
quite eventful when you see them go by pumping on somebody. Yeah, it's Not something you forget easy.
Move my mic around a little bit slightly. But, yeah, like I say, not really a lot here. Very basic stuff. Coming up on our next article this evening, we have a low-buy sale that is currently still going on for a little bit. Everything.
Yep. It's going straight through from Thursday, August 9th, all the way to August 13th. So, get basically anything that's Lobi, it's there.
Yep.
Costumes, weapons, ships, that sort of thing.
Yep.
It's what? Sorry.
I was going to say, we should mention this is for PC only at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is only for PC at the moment. Who knows if... Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, and it is 20% off everything, so...
Yeah.
But to give one really quick example before moving on, so that 900 low-buy ship for a T6 is now only $720. If you're looking at maybe picking up your bioneural infusion circuits or tachyokinetic converter finally, you can get those for $160 while this is going on. But, yeah. Anyway, that about covers our low-buy sale. Take advantage of that while you can. And speaking of fun stuff, we have the Home Week 1 rewards for console.
Yes, so the episode Home has been released for console, so you can... It's now there, so console players now have the entire Victory is Life arc on console available. And so with the Week 1 reward, you get, of course, the featured episode weekly reward box, where you get a choice of the tech upgrade or the specialization point. We recommend the specialization point. But then for the Week 1 reward, you also get the Morphogenic Polaron Energy Weapon. Now, this one is actually quite awesome. If you are using beams, it will act like a beam. If you are using cannon special attacks, it will act like a cannon. And it has a 360-degree firing arc. So, quite a nice thing. Check it out. We definitely recommend getting it if you are using Polaron. Anything to add, boys?
No, that's what I was going to say.
Probably the nastiest set of weapons they've given us to date. Nasty in a good way, of course. But yeah.
Definitely.
That about covers that. But definitely check that out. Again, we recommend the spec point, just saying. Less grinding, you know. But, moving along, we have our 20% costume and ship sale. This is going for console players. This will be running until the 13th, so 20% off of ship slots, dry dock slots, everything that says includes bundles which are comprised of only ships. Everything does not include bundles that have any other items other than ships. Each ship you buy gets an upgrade token and everything. If it's a T5 ship, and you get one for every ship that's you've bought for the first time on the account. So the Dyson bundle, for example, would give 9 tokens. Everything, so that's some fun stuff. The ship upgrade tokens, the upgrade token bundle, fleet modules count as well. And yeah, anything I'm forgetting out of that, guys?
Don't forget about the costumes.
Ah, yes, the costumes.
Yes.
And
so good.
I was going to say costumes, 20% off from August the 9th until August the 13th and everything. So stuff associated with your costumes and everything will be 20% off. Something very nice for our space Barbies there.
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Okay. Please,
okay.
no. Just please.
I wasn't gonna. No.
You were
no
thinking
vocals
it.
here.
Hey,
You were
it
thinking
could be
it.
worse. I could slip back into Klingon and rickroll y'all, you know.
Hey, that was a good show.
Yes, please do. Please do.
I don't know. I don't have my backup dancers of Martok and Gowron and Make it behind me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, she's going to make me link that in the notes for you folks. I know she is.
I am.
Now, before we move on to the budget build this evening, there is one other thing I did want to cover for you guys really briefly, and that is the yearly maintenance cycles. I'm actually going to grab that really quickly out of the Galactic News and everything. And these are the extended maintenance cycles they're having in August and everything. This is... you see here on the 14th, we'll be having one from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Xbox One. That's 8 hours of downtime. Then on the 16th, the PS4 will be down for 8 hours, and then the PC will have regularly scheduled maintenance. They do this about once a year and everything. This is where they can go in, they can check stuff a little bit better and everything. Any components they need to replace, they can replace, and so on down the line. But I did want to mention that really quickly for you guys. But getting into our budget build of the evening finally. Got here rather quickly this evening, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Streamline it, you know? Just
trying to streamline it a little better anyway for you folks, because I doubt y'all want to hear me yakking and hick for an hour and a half. But anyways, tonight's particular budget build is actually a 1-key budget for our Jem'Hadar Vanguard Heavy Raider. Now for this particular budget and everything, our 1-key budgets, we assume somebody's got a lockbox key. They have sold that key either by flipping Dota's in, however they got it, and that's the EC they use to fund the build. Now for this particular ship and everything, it is a Raider, so it has a 4-2 layout and everything, typical of a lot of your Raiders. And for this particular ship and everything, it zips around rather fast. A lot of the items that you're going to pick up are actually items that are going to come with your starting ship for your Jem'Hadar and everything, including your Jem'Hadar set. Now you may notice really quickly, I want to mention, you'll notice a couple of blank spots. This is because they do not yet have the morphogenic set in the builder yet. Whenever they actually have that in the builder, we'll start properly applying that to Polaron builds that utilize it. But in the meantime, in the forward part of our ship, we have our advanced piezoelectric beam from Lucari Rep. The proc on this gives a nice little heal to keep us alive. Then we have our chronometric Polaron beam array. This is going to give us some nice increased damage to the shields. Then we have a Polaron beam array that we actually picked up from the Stormclouds Gather mission and everything, because it's a little bit better optimized than the one that comes on your bug ship. And then what should actually be up front here is our energy torpedo, Polaron energy torp. In the rear of the ship, we have our Omni beam that came with our bug ship originally, and then we would have our energy weapon, our Omni turret, I guess we could say. And that will act as a beam or a cannon, depending on, or a turret I should say, depending on what type of modifier you activate with it. Then we have our shields, our impulse engines, and our deflector. This is going to come with your bug ship if you're a Jem'Hadar character and a Mark 12 variety. The set bonuses give you the anti-proton sweep, which is a nice little damage thing you can do, force people out of cloak. It also gives a bit of a boost to Polaron damage. And the set also has some nice upfront damage negation, control effects, and drain effects that it can give you as well, and overall stats. Because the set does not come with a warp core, we have to source one out. A better core than the standard one you get with your bug ship is the Temporal Phase Overcharged core and everything. This is pretty much our standard go-to core for free stuff. Carries the Temporal Negotiator effect, which is going to cut your bridge officer cooldowns in half for the duration. Then, because this is a Raider, because it also does meet the criteria for it, it does get a heavy weapon slot. And you're going to get the Field Distortion Overcharge Pulse which is going to do a nice chunk of damage for you. Now, for device slots, we like to think of them as personal preference and everything, and we always like to recommend the Subspace Field Modulator. It's a device you're going to be able to pick up very easily by going back and playing through the old missions and everything, and it gives a nice little defensive value. While it's active, you basically get a neutronium armor worth of resistance for free. Now, it does debuff you for minus 400 protonic damage, so do keep that in mind depending on where you activate it. Most likely it won't be an issue, but it is something we want to make a footnote of. Now, for our console layout, you've got a 2 engineering, 4 science, and 5 tactical layout. Some of these are staple consoles that we use quite a bit. We have our Trillium Deplating for free damage resistance and shield capacity. Basically a neutronium and a field generator in one. We have our Simulated Module for some critical chance and severity, which is also going to give some Control X. Then for our Science consoles, we have our Temporal Disentanglement Suite. This is going to give us a nice little chunk of aux power, or not aux power, but nice chunk of crit chance and severity depending on aux power, as well as shield capacity and shield damage resistance. So all around great console to pick up. Then we have our Piezoelectric Focuser from Lucari. This is going to give a nice chunk of Polaron damage, as well as turn rate and I believe additional shield capacity along with it. Then you have your Universal Ordnance Accelerator for the Polaron boosts that it gives from the Gamma Rep. Then we have the Restorative Particle Focuser with a Control X EPG variety from our Fleet Science Lab. That's going to buff some of your exotic abilities. Everything. For tactical consoles, we have the 3 Polaron phase modulators that came with our bug ship. We've imported those over. We have the Chronometric Capacitor tactical console from Time and Tide. Then we also have, or would have in the builder here, our Morphogenic console. Everything. Overall, you're going to be drawing for a lot of your damage from your Morphogenic set. Everything. And I do want to touch base really quickly on that in-game for you guys so you can see exactly what you're getting. And then we'll move on to some of the other stuff. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Now for your Morphogenic set, everything, it gives you a 15% recharge time reduction to your Flaw, Overload, Scatter Volley, and basically most of your tactical enhancement powers. Everything. So you automatically get cooldown reduction on that, which is going to save you quite a bit. Now, the premise that we're going to look at when we get to the BOF powers is cheesing this 3-set bonus here. Whenever you activate one of the following powers, you get a certain type of buff that lasts for 45 seconds, stacks up to 3 times, and once you get to the 3 stacks, if you get an additional would-be proc of it, then it gets a refresh on the timer. If you activate Fire at Will or Beam Overload, you get a 2% stacking critical chance up to 6%. If you activate a Scatter Volley or Rapid Fire, you get 10% critical severity up to a maximum of 30. Then if you activate a Torpedo Spread, a High Yield, a Mine Alpha, or Mine Beta, you get 7.5% Cat 1 weapon damage up to a maximum of 22.5. So that's the big thing that we're going to be taking advantage of here and everything. So if you can maintain this and everything, that is basically worth potentially up to 3 vulnerability locators to you that you're now not going to have to worry about. You can devote into pure severity, assuming you've got sufficient crit chance elsewhere. And then you're going to get a nice chunk of severity out of it and a nice chunk of weapon damage. And once we get to the Bridge Officer powers, we'll explain better how to cheese that a little bit more. Now for our skills, it's the basic layout that we've been using and everything. It's 14 engineering, 14 science, and 18 tactical. Do a quick mouse over for you guys. Now, if you want some of the more technical explanations why we picked some of the skills that we did, we have a video that will be available pretty shortly for you guys, explaining some of the more technical aspects of it and everything and whatnot from there. But for those of you that just want to copy the build, do a quick mouse over for you all, and hopefully that gives you what you need. For specializations, eventually you'll be able to unlock them all, but we went with Intel Primary, Miracle Worker Secondary. It's going to give a nice balance of offensive and defensive ability. Everything for our ship. Then for our traits, everything. I forgot to slot the last two, I just noticed, but for our personal space traits, we have Accurate, which is going to increase the accuracy of our weapons. Beam Barrage, which is going to give a nice beam damage boost. It comes from our Beam R&D. We assume that you've got at least one active school. In this case, we have chosen Beams. Beam Training for free beam damage. Elusive for free defensive value, making our ship harder to hit. Fleet Coordinator for free damage based on how many people are in the party, at minimum of 2% up to a maximum of 10. Then we have Grace Under Fire, which is the engineer specific trait. If you're not an engineer but you would like to still use this build, then simply swap in your own career specific trait and you'll be doing just fine. Now, Repair Matrix is our next trait that we're going to have for a bit of a heal in a pinch. We're going to have our Point Blank Shot, which is going to increase our weapon damage the closer we are to the target, up to a maximum. And then to boost our Polaron Torpedo just a little bit extra and get a little bit more damage from it, we have Projectile Training, since it does also affect the energy torpedoes. Then for our Starship traits, we have the Best Defense, also from House Peg. Gives a whole healing buff along with normal effects to our attack patterns. Then we have Press the Advantage, which actually comes with our Raider and everything. Whenever you're smacking the enemy in their rear arc, you get you reduce their turn rate and grant yourself a brief tactical and pilot ability recharge time reduction and everything. So a little bit of cooldown reduction there. And then what was supposed to be here was actually the Intel trait, which is Predictive Algorithms. And then finally the Miracle Worker trait. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of that thing off the top of my head. But yeah, anyway, I'll slot that after the show. But that will be your Starship traits. Decent balance of stuff, I like to believe. For space reputations, pretty much our standard loadout. Advanced target systems for the severity. Precision for the critical hit chance. Aux power offense, which is going to give a nice damage boost based on aux power. And then we have our magnified firepower, which is a static 5% Cat 2 damage bonus in space. For the active reputations, pretty standard layout again. Biomolecular shield generator, everything, which is a nice little defensive space power. Deploy sensor interference platform. That's the little thing that poofs up a platform taunting enemies until it dies or it runs out, whatever happens first. Then we have our anti-time entanglement singularity. This is the AoE slow and physical damage debuff to enemies. Then we have our quantum singularity manipulation from the Romulan rep. This is going to give plus 100 science stats for the duration, as well as a temporary cloaking effect. Now, to get a little bit more bang for your buck out of some of these powers, activate any exotic buffs you may have first, then quantum singularity manipulation, and crack off your anti-time. And you will get a good bit more bang for your buck there. And we kind of blazed through that a little bit because I want to get to our bridge officer powers for you guys. Alright, so it's a semi-basic build, but the key thing here is going to be taking advantage of your 3-piece for your morphogenic. Keeping that up is going to give you a lot more damage potential than a lot of the other budget builds we've done before. Now for this particular ship, you can see the layout we have: Lieutenant Commander Universal Pilot, Lieutenant Commander Universal, Lieutenant Universal, Ensign Universal, Commander Tactical. For the Commander Tactical, we have a Tactical Team 1. Then we have our Scatter Volley 1. Scatter Volley is going to allow us to cheese our morphogenic set for the stacking crit severity, as well as can potentially benefit our morphogenic turret / Omni Beam. We have Beam Fire at Will, which is going to affect our beams and also our Omni turret. That's going to also enable us to get that stacking critical chance buff. Then we have one copy of our Attack Pattern Beta 3. This is going to give us our attack pattern. In Lieutenant Universal, this is where we spent most of our 1-key budget. This is our 1-key budget for this evening was 4.3 million, and we spent 3 million of that to pick up a copy of Chemocyte-laced weaponry. So it's a nice little ensign tactical power. And then we have a duplicate of our attack pattern in this instance. If you so desired, you could potentially swap that out for a duplicate of Faw. Then, for our engineering-based powers, we have an emergency to engines, nice little power boost to our engines and speed whenever we need it. Reverse shield polarity to recharge our shields in a pinch. Then we also have our emergency power to weapons, nice damage boost and a bit of weapon power for us. Then we have for our Ensign Universal seat, we have our engineering team to recharge our hull a bit in a pinch. For our Lieutenant Commander Universal / Pilot, we just went straight science with this. To, I guess, try to keep this more middle of the road. We took a Science Team 1, recharge our shields in a pinch, as well as purging certain debuffs. Hazard emitters, a heal over time. This will purge certain things like the Borg plasma fires, whatnot. And then, to give a bit of control to the ship, we also gave it a Gravity Well 1. So, that's what we have as far as our BOF powers. By cycling through your... Wait, where's the torp spread? I just realized I screwed up 2 times in this.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I was gonna say, I might consider swapping out that attack pattern beta 1 for a torp spread 2.
So, slight mistake there. That's... I don't think I entirely saved everything when I sent it to you guys, but anyway. So yeah, that's supposed to have been a torp spread 2. That's the screw up there. So, slight mistake there on my part. Yeah, so in order to keep... yep, it does. But to take full advantage of your morphogenic set, you're going to make sure that you keep your scatter volley up. That's going to give your... or activate it as many times as you can, I guess, I should say. That's going to allow you to cheese the critical severity. That's going to give you up to a maximum of 30% crit sev. If you're activating your Faw regularly, that's going to give you a maximum of 6% critical chance. And then if you're activating your torp spread, that's going to give you some weapon damage boosts. That's going to be 22.5% Cat 1 damage boost. So still a pretty respectable damage boost. But yeah, that's what we've got for our budget build and everything. Total cost, you're looking at 62,500 dilithium. Approximately 8 days build time, assuming only 1 character is refining dilithium per day. And for the Chemocyte-laced weaponry, that's 3 million EC is what we picked it up for. And then I included notes on where you get everything else. But yeah, any final comments, thoughts on the build?
No, I think we covered it when we talked about the torp spread for me.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I got nothing.
It looks good.
I was going to ask which cosmetic shield you're using, but
You would.
since we're talking about the ship itself, what makes it look pretty, you know?
Yep. And then later on down the road, everything, if you're able, definitely pick up some crit chance doffs, and you can actually afford to swap those modulators to potentially exploiters if you wanted to. Choose a little bit more crit sev. So there is an end game in mind with this build. Hopefully you guys like it and whatnot, and we'll go ahead and slot the Miracle Worker trait on the screen right quick. And this brings us to the bugs corner. Now, obviously, one bug that's still going on is, if you're on the Jem'Hadar Bridge, gotta be teamed up or it's gonna throw your friends off. Which can be a bit of a pain for RP events and stuff if you're having Klingons over.
Yep.
Yes. So, as an example, I tried to bring one of my Klingon characters on Darkblade's bridge here earlier before we started the show, and it was like, nope, you're not on a team. Leaving map in 58 seconds. But
yep. But that's pretty much what we've got for our.
I know that
Unless Artie's got something.
Nope, I don't got anything.
I was gonna say we did make sure that the devs are aware of the PvP challenge bug again, so they are working on it. And yeah, I think that's pretty. Oh, the issues with logging in. So we know there were issues last night. The game went down on all three platforms. It is back up currently, but I know earlier today, and they did tweet about this, there was issues with certain IPs having issues logging in. One of the guys on TeamSpeak was definitely filling that category. But if you're still having problems, either let them know through Twitter at Trek Online Game, or let us know, let one of the hosts know, either through the @Pilot Review Show Twitter or through in-game mail. However you can get a hold of somebody or us, then definitely let us know, and we will make sure that that gets passed on.
Yep. I say they don't like issues like that any more than you or I do. They want to get that took care of. And I just did remember one that I wanted to put out there for you guys. And this is more for the forum users, people that come on the forums. And we had been having issues with what we have dubbed the edit monster. Everything. If you've ever heard of that over the years, occasionally, if you try to edit a post of yours, sometimes it will vanish without a trace. And you either have to try to get a moderator or an admin to restore it, or you basically have to repost it. And we've been trying to track that down. There is an announcement up on the forums currently. Feel free to go in there, add your name to the list of people that is being monitored by Ambassador Kale and everything. We think we have a cause potentially isolated, and we want to be doubly sure before we do anything, because forum issues are handled more so by Vanilla, which is the people that power the forums, than they are by Cryptic. So we want to make sure all of our ducks are in a row for that. But anyways, coming up on our next segment, we actually have the Teacher's Corner. And
yes.
What have you got for us this week?
Well, since TeacherKirby was very, very busy this week, I went with one that I recorded a couple weeks ago when it first came out, which was a playthrough of Tenebris Torquent that I simply had not released yet. But it's a playthrough of, and I hope I'm pronouncing it right, and I'm probably not, but it is the playthrough of the second to last episode in the Victory is Life arc. and it was definitely a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys do too. Comments, questions?
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed watching you do the same mission I had fun with. So it's just great to see other people having the same issues I did in combat.
I know, right? and if any of the devs are listening, especially Ryan, I am going to work on getting Scylla and Charybdis up as soon as the summer event's over. I was scolded at Vegas.
Oh my god, she pronounced it correctly. Oh my god.
I was scolded at Vegas because apparently Scylla and Charybdis flew right under my radar and I never actually posted a playthrough. And Ryan, who designed the mission, was checking out my YouTube channel, and yeah, you didn't have Scylla and Charybdis up. So, yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Anyway. So that'll be coming soon, TM.
So, aside from Kirby failing epically at not uploading videos and everything, but we'll have a link to that in the description for you guys. You can check that out if you'd like, and everything, as well as some of our other content that we have on there now. Coming up on our final segment of the evening, we have the RP Corner with Artie. What have you got for us, dude?
I've been asked by a fleet of that I'm friends with to basically advertise for them. So here's my subliminal messaging of, hey, you should totally be recruited into this fleet. So I'm a part of this fleet known as Outpost Zeta. We are a small group, and obviously we roleplay. No brainer, right? But the whole story that we're going along with is that our group, the various crew that we have, are working on this beaten up station that's out by Deep Space Nine, a little ways from Cardassia and whatnot. And we just now had our first big battle with the Herc. There's destroyed ships. The Herc were about to go after DS9, as you see in the in-game campaign. They're just going all over the place, just destroying people left and right. So currently, we're right now at a brief period of rebuilding, and we need any able-bodied soldier, well, not soldier, crew member that would be welcome to join our ranks. We're currently accepting any career at this point. You could be security, tactical, science, whatever you name it. We probably can do something with you. All we have to do is basically you go to our engine page, which I will link into the show notes after the show. You go down to our recruitment section of said engine page, and you start filling out a application form. And then from there, we'll go back and forth, discuss things, see how it would work out for you, try to get some good days for you so you can RP, and we'll work out from there. From there, you're now in the story, and we'll be able to go take a good bloody nose to those Herc, those darn bugs. So,
squish him.
Yeah. But funny enough, actually, along with the Herc, we actually have a few other side plots that are going with. Currently, we have Cardassia, the Cardassian Union, actually dealing with remnants of the True Way. The True Way are still apparently out there, and apparently they're on our side, since enemy of my friend kind of deal. They're very weird at this point. And apparently SFI wants cut a swathe of territory, but we're not sure how, why SFI is really giving us some trouble. They're on our side, right? Well, you'll find out more if you join in. That's all I have.
Speaking of bugs, I think I'm obligated to say this, but raid! Shameless product plug there, but
Oh no, I was actually gonna just interrupt halfway through the bugs corner and start doing the RP corner.
Here a bug, there a bug, everywhere a bug.
Everywhere
Basically.
Bug. It definitely sounds Sounds like
Interesting.
they've got some interesting events going on, and if that's something you're into, definitely check it out.
Yep.
But anyways, folks, that's what we've got for a show this evening. It's quite a bit early still compared to when we had been doing things. We're trying to streamline it a little bit better for you guys and everything, so I doubt you want to hear me yakking for the entire time or any of these screwballs either.
Yes.
But,
so we still get you the information that you want without
overloading you.
Without overloading, yes.
But anyways, like I say, I hope you guys have enjoyed it and everything. We'll have a link to the video for those people as well that want to get more information about the skill build from our budget build. But before we head out this evening, shout out to our good friends over at the Temporal Armada. Be sure to check out those fine people. Very cool program that they have going on there. Also check out our other good friends over at the Kurtang Pirate Radio. The party is there. Very cool guys. Definitely have good music going all the time. Finally, if you have any requests for a budget build, feel free to let us know and whatnot. We work with all levels of budget. Maybe you just have a bare bones or a one-key type of budget. You don't really have a lot to work with and everything. Maybe you're looking for more of a mid-range type of budget and everything. You got a little bit more you can invest than a bare bones, but not quite to high-end yet. We also do some work with high-end budgets as well. Like I say, let us know what kind of a ship you've got, what kind of budget level you're looking for, and what kind of a build you're wanting. Everything, maybe a space wizard, a DPS, a tank, whatever it is you're looking to do, and we'll see if we can help you out in that aspect. But if you have any, if you think your gear's in order and everything, and you'd like us to review your piloting, maybe help you improve there, feel free to get us a brief video clip showcasing where you're at currently, and we'll do a critique over your piloting for you and help you improve. Let us know again what you're looking to do. Maybe you want to be a tank, a DPS, or a space wizard. We'll help you out. If you have any bugs and everything, let us know. We'll be sure to pass those along to the developers, especially with the recent server outages. We want to make sure everybody's able to log in. If you've got any requests for the Teacher's Corner, feel free to let her know. She does take requests for videos, and she may just do a video over your request. If you've got anything for the RP Corner, feel free to let Artie know as well. He does take requests for that and everything. As you see, his RP Corner segment this evening came by request and whatnot, and he may just hook y'all up with that. But anyways, folks, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show for this evening. But for now, folks, this is the Pilot Review Show, reminding you to have your tribbles spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
See ya.